Merħba l-intrapriża ninsab fiż-żona industrijali ta' Ħalfar u ftit metri bogħod minn hawnhekk semmur biex inżur fabbrika li timpjega aktar minn 300 ħaddiem timmanifattura air conditions li jiġu esportati għall-industrija barra minn Malta. U ħaniltaqa' mal-President ta' din il-kumpanija u kap eżekuttiv. Kumpanija li beda missieru fl-1965 u li fetaħaw Malta 30 sena ilu. Ħanaraw. L-intrapriża ta' din il-ġimgħa mill-kumpanija Cypher Systems f'Ħalfar. Today, iċ-chairperson u CEO huwa Michael Cypher. Mr. Cypher, thank you so much for having me here at your facility in Ħalfar.
So, here, as you see, we store our raw material. We have incoming of all raw materials. All mechanical parts, everything, all pre-manufactured parts are done in-house. So that as well is a sustainable way of looking at things because we don't have transport, we don't have a lot of suppliers outside of Malta or within Malta. It's all done within that facility. We get sheet metal, 1,200 metric tons of sheet metal per year, which we process here. We bring them in here, and out of that sheet metal, we manufacture the boxes for our air conditioning systems, which we sell globally, worldwide.
And I know you started, so your father had this idea of creating this enterprise in 1965, if not mistaken.
Exactly.
But you started the facility in Malta 30 years ago, in 1991.
Yeah, absolutely. My father was looking in these days for a location outside of Germany. I've heard that there was full employment in Germany, you couldn't find people. But it's something we experience, unfortunately, in Malta right now. So he was looking at a place to open up a manufacturing location. He was on holiday in Malta and fell in love with Malta. He met the right people. And well, 6 months later we started operating. We started opening up our first facility in Malta, which was much smaller than what you see today.
And now you employ how many people?
Currently we're over 300, 320. We work with subcontractors as well because we have problems to employ, employees in Malta. It's a problem.
And I know you were into expansion as well, so you're expanding your current facilities in Ħalfar.
Exactly. So what we're trying to do is, everything you see here is fairly modern and sophisticated, but you can still raise the bar a little more. There are too many resources, still too many activities which are too manual, which are too labor-based, and we try to eliminate. And not in order to free the labor, in order to have a more lean process and lose our employees for something more clever than just pushing material around.
Sure. So I'm seeing this machine and I'm intrigued to learn more about what you're doing here. So basically the metal sheets, they go into this machine, I believe.
Yeah, exactly. So here we bring in all the sheet metal. Is being punched or laser cut. So you cut out the part which later on you want to bend. So as you can see from the left, it would pick up the sheet, it would bring the sheet on the machine, it punches the machine, or punches the part, punches the part, it takes off the good part, and it removes the scrap, and it continuously moving. So the back end, the engineers who design the boxes, the engineers who design the sheet metal boxes, is being uploaded on a file server. Our programmers here, which we have plenty of, take those files and program the part, which is then being automatically transferred on the machine.
So now we're seeing from the metal sheets, the boxes are being designed somehow.
So what? You have the flat part over here, and the flat part is now being bended so that you have a box where you can put something inside, no? Okay. So you put in that sheet, you hand it over to the machine. So this one now comes down, it's brought in its own bending tool over there. Okay. You don't see much because it's all happening behind there, but you see, suddenly it has a 90-degree bend over there. Now look at the big bending beam. Now it's going down, and it will fold the main part, which you don't see again because it's all happening behind it. But once it's coming out, you see magic. So
it is magic, it is indeed.
Here, as you can see, this is one maybe of our expertises. We have a huge variety of products. So we are very much, I'm always saying we're an engineering company really with a manufacturing facility behind it. We customize a lot of our products, we tailor make them. our industry, we supply in so many different industries. We are not in one industry. We're so broad, so open up. From traffic control, speed cameras, even the one in Malta, air conditioner is our air conditioner, by the way. Not my fault. So we do marine applications. The air conditioners go on ships. The telecommunication applications, cell towers, which are in Malta, are cooled or heated with our system. Machine tool industry. Even industries like water parks or so use our air conditioners to control their water parks. We did huge water parks in Dubai and Qatar. So it's a very broad business, really a broad business. Here we are in the aluminium section. This is, not really very sophisticated. It's a process which you always do like this, and probably you still do in the next 40 years like this.
Okay, so
And
these
then-
you buy.
Yeah,
Okay.
that we buy, but it's our design. The profile itself is our design. So you have seen the profile cutting. So cutting the profile is just a different diameter than the other one. We cut it on length. We have deburred it, so we don't have sharp edges anymore. And now Paul here will wind a copper pipe around that profile. That is a condenser which we use later on for some of our air conditioners.
So it's amazing. We've been through all the processes from a metal sheet, and this is the last part, I believe.
Exactly. So here's the final product. So what we do here, we receive all those parts, as you can see here, the sheet metal box manufactured in the sheet metal department. Over there you see the aluminium profiles which were machined, which were lined, the copper pipes. The gentleman over here now building up the refrigeration circuit, while over here they're building up the mechanical housing of that part. Both of them work in parallel, do their job, move it to the next table where the housing and the refrigeration part will be merged together. And then the electronic goes inside, so the intelligence, it's being tested and it's being packed and dispatched.
It's fascinating how from a metal sheet you produce literal industrial air conditioners.
It is.
And you produce, you told me, around 40,000 a year.
40,000 a year, and I think 1,300 different part numbers.
So one last thing regarding the future. You're the second generation.
Yeah.
I believe your son, Philip, might be the third generation taking over soon enough.
Yes, so
But still your ambitions are extremely, very ambitious, I must say. Your aim, your future aims are quite ambitious.
Yeah, thank you.
When it comes to carbon neutrality, because I saw a lot of photovoltaic panels up there.
Well, I think there is no option to this. First of all, I have to say that, so third generation, I'm extremely proud that my eldest son shows interest in the business and is today actively working with me together, with the team together, and he's doing an outstanding job. So yes, I do hope, of course, that at one point in time he's taking over and leads the company in the next 50 years or so. But we can only do that sustainable. We can only do that when we really focus, or when we change the way how we manufacture, how we produce products, when we look at sustainability, when we reduce resources spent. So that is the ultimate goal already now, not only for the next generation. Now we have to do it. So you mentioned carbon neutrality. Yes, this plant was certified as the first carbon neutral plant within the Seifert Group. From here we spin that idea off into our other subsidiaries. But this is not, it didn't come as a marketing gag or so. It is a necessity. If we don't do this, if manufacturing industry will not change, I wonder who's going to change this.
What you're trying to achieve when you say you're trying to be the first carbon neutral manufacturing company in Malta? Are you trying to offset all your emissions by investing in photovoltaic in your processes? What are you doing exactly in a tangible way?
I think we have one of the largest investments of private photovoltaic in Malta. So the entire roof space here is covered, over 8,000 square meters, 2,860 panels, 1.1 gigawatt hours of electricity is being generated we save through that 730 tons of CO2 emission annually. That is fantastic, that helps us, but it's still not enough to offset our entire CO2 emissions. So what we are really hoping for, what we are working on maybe, with the new investment as well, to be more efficient with the machinery, to be more efficient in the processes, to use less resources or whatever it is. So the ultimate goal should be to be entirely energy sufficient, self-sufficient as a company. Obviously it's a long shot.
By when? By when?
It's hard to say.
Okay.
But
that's the goal. That's the end goal.
Our goal is that the extension, the expansion will be from day one energy self-sufficient. So, and then of course we have to look at the existing processes and see what we are able to do. But technology evolves, so that plays in our hands. So I do believe that in a few years' time that's achievable.
One last question is possibly the support you received from Malta Enterprise, and being a member of the Malta Chamber of Commerce, what benefits as an entrepreneur, as a business person, as someone who's in the manufacturing, what added value it brings to you?
Yeah, I mean, the Chamber of Commerce, the Malta Enterprise are really supporting us substantially in transforming that idea, that vision into reality. And that is something I have not experienced elsewhere, even though we're operating in other countries.
No. So that's one of the kind.
That's really something wonderful to see. So Malta Enterprise, the Chamber, the authorities, they listen to our needs and they try and they listen, they think about it, and they try to support, if it makes sense, try to support as much as they can to turn that around and to achieve that Gargan vision.
Mr. Seifert, it was a pleasure meeting you. Thank you so much for your time. Plenty
of it. I
appreciate
it.
Wish you all the very
Thank
best.
you.
Cheers. Minn dik iżjara interessanti ferm f'dik il-fabrika semmu biex niltaqa' ma' Nadja Grek mill-Malta Enterprise biex tispjegana xi skemi hemm għal negozji żgħar u medji biex ikunu aktar sostenibbli, aktar kompetittivi u aktar diġitali.
Bħala Malta Enterprise għandna numru ta' skemi li huma aċċessibbli għall-intrapriżi li jixtiequ jsiru iktar diġitali u iktar ambjentalment sostenibbli. L-ewwel skema li għandna aċċessibbli hija l-Smart and Sustainability Investment Grant Scheme li din qiegħda toffri inċentiv forma ta' tax credit u speċjalment forma ta' cash grant. L-iskop ta' din l-iskema hija li ngħinu intrapriżi biex ibidlu sistemi u equipment li għandhom diġà bħalissa fl-operat tagħhom. Din l-iskema hija maqsuma f'5 miżuri. L-ewwel miżura bażikament hija biex ngħinu intrapriżi biex inaqsu l-iskart iġġenerat waqt il-produzzjoni tagħhom u din tinkludi wkoll il-packaging tagħhom. It-tieni miżura hija li kumpaniji jew nkella entità jagħmlu iktar użu effiċjenti mill-ilma tagħhom u li inaqsu l-ħela tal-ilma. It-tielet miżura hija li jadottaw u li jużaw prodotti iktar sostenibbli waqt l-operat tagħhom u li forsi joħolqu jipproduċu prodotti li huma iktar sostenibbli. Ir-raba' miżura hija li jużaw equipment u makkinarji li huwa iktar energy efficient u l-aħħar miżura hija li jadottaw u li jimplementaw sistemi teknoloġiċi biex ikunu iktar effiċjenti. Għal min forsi jixtieq jimplementa u jaddotta sistemi jew inkella investimenti li huma ġodda fl-operat tagħhom, kumpanija jew inkella entità tista' tagħmel użu mill-Investment Aid for Energy Efficiency Project. Importanti li l-equipment u l-makkinarju li ħajkunu qegħdin jagħmlu investiment għalih ħajkunu iktar energy efficient. L-iskema hija imħalta bejn tax credit kif ukoll cash grant. Għandna skemi wkoll fej intrapriża jew inkella entità tista' tagħmel użu minn advisor. Għandna numru ta' skemi fej l-intrapriża tagħżel advisor li tkun tixtieqi, l-advisor imur fuq il-post tal-operat, jagħmel audit u joħroġ numru ta' rekomandazzjonijiet li l-intrapriża tista' tadotta biex issir iktar diġitali u ambjentalment sostenibbli.
Grazzi kbira lil Nadja Grek. Qabel intemmu l-programm tajjeb ngħidilkom li l-Young Chamber Network fih dan il-Kamra tal-Kummerċ fl-aħħar jiem organizzat attività oħra li kienet suċċess numeruża ħafna fl-attendenza biex tkompli tgħin il-membri tal-Kamra tal-Kummerċ li għandhom inqas minn 40 sena biex ikollhom aktar għajnuna anke għarfien dwar kif jistgħu jmexxu negozju u nkella jibdew negozju li jkun suċċess. Dak kollox għal din il-ġimgħa, il-ġurnata tajba.